Well, Secretary Hank Paulson said today that if the government extends any financial backing to those two institutions, it will be done under terms and conditions that protect the U.S. taxpayer. But he did not provide the details which Congress wants. Quoting now, "This is a backup facility that hopefully will never be used." The bigger question may be, is it even constitutional? Is it allowed? Judge Andrew Napolitano is here, our senior judicial analyst and author of, among other books, Constitutional Chaos: What Happens When the Government Breaks Its Own Laws. Is it breaking its own laws, and if so, how?
It's breaking the fundamental law of the land, which is the Constitution. And here's how. The Constitution says all contracts have to be enforced, not modified, not rewritten to help the guy who's losing money, but enforced as written. So if a shareholder buys a share of stock and the amount of stock goes down, that's the risk the shareholder took. The shareholder cannot expect that the government will pay the difference between what he paid and what he bought it for.
But it was implicit in the writing of the set. Like, one of these companies was set up as part of the New Deal. Another was set up decades ago to try to give housing opportunities to low and middle income people.
They were unconstitutional then, and they're unconstitutional now, because the government— Are you
sure?
I'm certain of it. Though I will admit that other lawyers and judges disagree with me. But as I understand the Constitution and my study of it, the government cannot pick one or two companies, bail them out, and let others—
Well, they're saying this isn't a bailout. But I don't know how
all right, they can't put taxpayer dollars at risk, whether you call it a bailout, a guarantee, whether you loan the money, or whether you buy stock from the company. Whatever you do, it's your money and my money, and everyone listening now, their money is at risk. The government can't take Treasury money the taxpayers have put into the Treasury, and put it at risk to save Company A and not Company B. Why bail out Chrysler and not DeLorean? Why bail out Fannie Mae and not Indy Mac? The government can't do that because the Constitution says the government has to treat everybody equally. You either bail out everybody or bail out no one. If you bail out everybody, we're a socialist nation.
But they're saying, in fact, the president said explicitly today, this is not a bailout. What he said that they're doing is offering help, offering a lifeline, offering an if worst case scenario will prop you up scenario.
That may actually be fraud, because if Fannie Mae goes to sell shares of stock in Fannie Mae in order to raise money, because the purchasers of those stock think that the government will back it up and make sure the price stays at what it was when they bought it, and the government is not going to back them up, then Fannie Mae is misleading the purchaser. And if the government is going to back them up, it can only do so with tax dollars, and the Constitution doesn't permit it.
So the President of the United States has come to the podium, the Treasury Secretary has come to the podium, offering a psychological, at very least—
Very nicely put. That's what it is, a psychological prop up.
So the psychology of it says, if you hear this from the President, in whom you have confidence, and the Treasury Secretary, in whom you have confidence, the shares of those companies for the day that those utterances happen go up. And what do you think has happened today? Shares of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are down 17 to 18% today. They had already lost half their value before today, since the beginning of the month of July. We're down almost 50% since the 1st of July. This is July 15th. If they continue to go down to worth nothing, have they told us the federal government will give them our money?
If they continue to go down, that means that investors don't believe the federal government that it's going to back this stuff up, or don't believe the federal government even has the authority to do it, which is the argument I'm making.
Judge Napolitano, thanks.